Pelosi Slurs, suffers odd brain malfunction, now watch guy in back of the room. During a media briefing on Capitol Hill this week, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi once again demonstrated that she's got a few screws loose, slurring her words and suffering some kind of odd brain malfunction which prevented her from pronouncing words correctly and forming coherent sentences. If the guy in the back of the room was any indication, even members of her own party have had enough of the California Democrats' crazy antics. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi appears to be triggered by the word intelligence. The California Democrat delivered remarks to the media this week during a briefing with members of her party from the House Intelligence Committee, but she had trouble pronouncing several words and even forgot the name of one of her colleagues. While introducing her colleagues, Pelosi stammered, "I'm very honored to stand, before members of the House Intelligence Committee," suffering a facial spasm. Then she repeated herself, while reading from note cards, no less. We also want to protect the mule, the integrity of the Mueller investigation," Pelosi said. Attempting to praise one of her Democratic colleagues, she called him by the wrong name, causing the members standing behind her to roll their eyes and look around at one another in disbelief. Early on, the leadership of Congressman Eric Swalwell, Pelosi said, correcting herself. Moments later, she spoke unintelligibly, saying, "So I knew the challenge that members face there," referencing the Intelligence Committee. "That's why I had the she said, freezing, before adding, "privilege." According to the American Mirror, Pelosi suffered another facial spasm when praising Senator John McCain, R.Oz. "His service, his courage, his leadership for our country has been a blessing," she said, fighting through the awkward moment. By the end, the man standing behind her had clearly had enough of her craziness and could no longer maintain his composure in the face of her awkward stammering and incoherence. His reactions to her remarks were the perfect representation of just how fed up we've all grown with Pelosi, who cannot even seem to make it through a brief press conference anymore without embarrassing herself. Washington insider Dick Morris, who has a long history of supporting top Democrats, has attributed Pelosi's odd behavior to her becoming senile in old age. "When you read the text of her remarks, you wonder what's the matter with her," said Morris. Now there are some people on whom senility is an improvement, and in the case with Nancy Pelosi, I think that might be the case. But really, this woman is losing it, and the Democrat Party should not entrust their fortunes to a new kid on the block like Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and a senile old lady like Nancy Pelosi, continued Morris. That's free advice to the party. If Pelosi is senile, she should retire immediately, which would be good for all of us. We need another radical leftist in Washington like we all need a hole in the head. However, her continued ridiculousness will only make it easier for Republicans to win again in 2020. While we don't know exactly what's causing Nancy Pelosi's repeated brain malfunctions, one thing is for sure, she isn't right in the head. Her behavior during press conferences continues to raise concerns as her antics get more and more ridiculous. Apparently, no amount of medication can help her to remain coherent for even a brief period of time so that she can answer a few questions from reporters. Should she really be operating at the highest levels of our government when she cannot even form a logical sentence or go a few seconds without slurring?